Hey guys, welcome. Whew. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I hope that everybody is having a phenomenal day. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button when y'all come in and drop your name down in the comments. If you are new here, so that I can address you properly throughout the live stream, welcome in, you guys. Welcome. Whew, how has y'all's day been? I've been so productive this week, first of all. So it's only Tuesday. But I feel like I've been super productive so far this week. So how y'all week been going? It's Tuesday, but how y'all feeling? It's Tarot Tuesday. So why was I just watching your isolation video and I got a notification that you were live? What that mean? Signs and synchronicities. So yes, how are you guys doing so far? I hope that you guys have been ushering yourself into the new year with grace and poise and things of that nature. I don't really celebrate the actual new year. I did do some, traditions, some hoodoo practices, but for the new year. But my new year is my birthday, because my birthday is in a couple of weeks. So my solar return is in a couple of weeks. So I typically honor my solar return by doing all of the things that most people would do on the first. So I'm preparing, fixing candles and letting them sit and things like that, putting my jars together, my mojo bags and things like that. I'm ready for an amazing year. 2023 is going to be an amazing year, not just for me, but for you guys as well, because, my vibe attracts my tribe. And if I am well, then my tribe is well. And if we are well, then we all out here getting it and giving that reciprocity in our designated areas across the globe. So if you guys are meeting me for the first time, welcome in. I am Oshun Yinka, your favorite womb goddess. I help women balance their hormones naturally within 90 days by using holistic practices. And on this channel, we talk about everything feminine energy, spirituality, and holistic womb healing holistically, specifically with womb trauma. So if that is something that you are interested in, then make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscription button, because we go live every single night, Monday through Friday, talking about important conversations like this. Okay, so just a disclaimer, y'all, I have multiple platforms. I have multiple fake pages on multiple platforms. If you see me on TikTok, if you see me on Instagram, I don't even know if there's any Facebook pages or whatever, but if you are on any of those platforms, if you see me anywhere in the name of the account is not my snack shop, it is not me. I will never DM you talking about a reading. I will never ask you for money via DMs or anything like that. And if you are talking to myself, if you are talking to me, just a rule of thumb, I always send voice notes so that you know it's real. If you are getting anything else and you not, ask them to send you a voice note or whatever to show you that it's real, I send voice notes. And even if you are on the right page for Instagram, because Instagram is the only page that my assistant actually runs the DMs, and if she responds to you, then you'll still know, because it's the main page that you follow. So yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I do not offer readings to I don't solicit readings to anybody. I only offer them for free here on my platform. Sometimes on TikTok I will do what I used to do, live streams on TikTok and do readings, but I will never ask you, do you want a reading? I promise you, I got other things to do than to be asking you if you want a reading. A reading is something that you can come to me and get, and it will be linked down in the description, because I am offering personal readings. But again, like, you'll never see me really broadcasting that I do readings, because that is something that I set intentions for, and people just align with me. That is not something that I market or anything like that, like advertise in any way. you just come to me or word of mouth. That's how I get my spiritual clients, people who are coming for intuitive readings and things like that. I will never be in your DMs offering you a reading. So with that being said, y'all, use your discernment, okay? Use your discernment. It's 2023. It's 2023. There is no reason why people are still getting scammed in the DMs by trolls, by people who are just, I don't even know how you can still even get manipulated in that way. Like, check yourself, y'all. And I'm not I am ignoring y'all. As far as like, if y'all are DMing me telling me there are fake accounts, I am well aware it has been like that for a couple of years. So if there are multiple pages, I just don't have the time or the energy to respond back to all the people who are making me aware that there are multiple fake pages, y'all. I know. I appreciate you for letting me know, but I am very full aware. So please, use your discernment. And if you see any other that extra shit as far as like, 2 M's on my snatch shop, 2 P's, $, underscores, all that extra shit. Like, it's just my snatch shop across the board. Every single platform is just my snatch shop. That's it. That's all. It's just my snatch shop. So if it's anything that you see more than that, it's not me. Anywho's, on to more important things. How are you guys' mental health? Let me know down in the comments how y'all are feeling right now mentally. We are going through where Mercury is currently going retrograde. It has currently gone retrograde. So there is, I know there's a stigma with Mercury retrograde where everybody feels like, their world is coming to an end, and it's going to be problems on top of problems and arguments and things like that, y'all. I love Mercury retrograde because it allows me the space to see things in myself that I need to work on. So when I am going through Mercury retrograde, and a tip for you to do as well is when you are going through any type of planetary alignment or shift, it is to see what exactly is that planet trying to bring out of you. So when Mercury is retrograde, during that time, there's typically confusion in communication, or inconsistency in communication. There's also inconsistency in technology, in transportation, and things of that nature. So it don't look at it. I always say, there's no such thing as good or bad. It just is what it is. But when your car is breaking down, I was just talking to my sister about this yesterday. I saw a video of a guy on TikTok, and he was fixing, it looked like he had an 18-wheeler. I just know it was a big ass wheel, and he was just like, had the little wrench thingy. I think it's called a wrench, but the thing, that the little X thing, he was using it, like spinning it around, and he was just like, if you ain't fixed the shit, it's because you ain't got shit. He was like, if you ain't fixed the shit, it's because you ain't got shit. Stop complaining about fix the shit, because that means you got something. So take care of the things that you want. If you got something to fix your shit, it means you got something. So be grateful. And what I was taking from that is, just to be grateful. Like, and there's so much truth in that. Like, a lot of times we get mad because, we're having disagreements in our marriage. Okay, you know how many people want to be married? Like, at least you have the marriage. So do the things that is necessary for you to do the things that's necessary for you to fix that relationship. If you got a house and your pipes fucked up, okay, at least you got a house. You know how many people want a house? Like, you manifested those things. You have the desire to want those things. So the fact that you got them, don't think that it's not going to take work to continue to make it operate effectively. So be proud of the adversities that you go through, because it just shows you, I got something to take care of. I got some things that I've earned and I've worked hard for. Because people who ain't got shit to lose, they out here tearing up everybody else's shit. Don't be that person, okay? Do not be that person, and do not surround yourself with people who ain't got shit to lose. Like, that's something that I learned earlier in the game. Never fuck with people who ain't got shit to lose, because they will help you lose everything, because they don't value anything, because they don't own shit. They don't have shit of their own. And they don't necessarily have to be material things. It could be happiness. It could be peace. It could be financial stability. It could be the way that other people look at you. They don't got that joy within themselves. Like, if other people don't got shit to lose, you might want to stay the fuck away from them, because they gonna help you lose your sanity. They're gonna help you lose your money and anything else that you value, just because they don't have nothing to lose. So why not help you lose it too? Misery love company. But anywho's, y'all, before I came on here, I usually do like especially when I'm coming on here to do a reading, I typically come on here and, I meditate first. So I ask Spirit, like, what is it that we need to talk about? What is it that we need to know? How can I be of service to help somebody? And the message that I got was free yourself. Free yourself. So with that being said, yesterday in a Rebirth Society, if y'all not in a Rebirth Society, what is y'all doing? Get in a Rebirth Society. Every single Thursday. How do you get in the Rebirth Society? Every single Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I help women by training them for free to be certified Yoni Sting practitioners. It's a live training that I do myself. It's just me. It's not my assistant. It's not a replay. It's a live training. It's 4 hours. And I train you guys for free to be advanced Yoni Sting practitioners. And once you complete that course and you are certified, then you will have access to the Rebirth Society. Yes, you have to go through the course to get into the program. Absolutely. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So, anywho's, when we was talking about if you are in the Rebirth Society, we was talking about the other day, about self-mastery, and I think we talked about that a little bit last night on live as well, but we were talking about self-mastery, and to piggyback off of that, Spirit gave me the message of freeing yourself. You owe yourself for all the hurt and all the pain that you have went through. It could have been a lot of people for the last 3 years. It has been very tumultuous. It has been very strenuous to your growth and to your development. A lot of people for the last couple of years have been going through an awakening stage. So with that being said, a lot of people are finding their new voices. They're finding their new environments, their new friend groups, their new careers and things like that. Everything just looks new. But some of you guys are still mentally enslaved because you have not physically removed yourself from your environment. Like, your spirit has outgrown it, but you have not freed yourself to allow yourself to actually grow in your capacity. It gives me the visual of something that is afraid to blossom out. Like, you know that you are too big for this. You outgrown this space. For example, like, Spirit is giving me like the image of somebody trying to get in their favorite pair of jeans. You're trying to get in your favorite pair of jeans and they're either way too big or they're way too small. Either way, they ain't hitting like they used to hit. Your hips ain't doing what they used to do. Like, you either busting out the seams, but these might have been your favorite jeans since high school, but it's like, baby girl, give them up. You got holes on your thighs where you done rubbed them to death. You've been pulling them up and you done broke one of the belt loops from you trying to pull them up and squeeze in them. You're not even comfortable. You got a big ass muffin top when you buckle it up because they so tight, but you still trying to fit in them because these are your favorite jeans. Instead of you going and seeing if they have them in your size, but you like, oh no, they don't got them in my size no more. They don't have they don't even run this brand anymore. Like, whatever the case is as to why you have this emotional attachment to these pair of jeans. That's what y'all doing when it comes to your overall life. So fit the pair of jeans wherever it fits in your life. What is it that you're still holding on to that you've outgrown, that no longer serves you? However, you are still trying to fit in it because of comfortability. However, you don't want to get rid of it, because even if you don't wear them, even if you don't use it, like whatever this skill is, whatever this person is, this relationship, whatever that thing, that pair of jeans is in your life, even if you're not using it that often, there's still a blockage there because you are still, you're not go ahead. You still got to have them in your closet. You still got to have access to it. Instead of you saying, okay, let me go ahead and just toss these. Let me go ahead and put these, recycle them and give it to the Goodwill or something. Or let me repurpose them. So let me cut them up and put them into something else. Let me use it for something else. Like, cause we had a video on that last week, about repurposing and recycling things. Like, can this be repurposed? Can this be reused? Or is it time to just give it up? Okay, so you need to be able to, you are the only person who can determine that. But I want you guys to understand that it is time to free yourself as we go into 2023. We are in day 3 of 2023, and I want you guys to start building momentum to how you want your year to go. A lot of times, everybody in the gym right now. The gyms for the first 2 months of the year, especially January, is when people make the most money in the gyms, when they make the most money for the memberships and stuff, because everybody is so pumped up to go to the gym. Everybody's so pumped up. This is gonna be my year to lose 50 pounds. This is gonna be my year, to get in my villain era and be a bad girl, blah, blah, blah. Y'all, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's like a 7% chance that if you just started your journey in January and you feel like you're about to do whatever that is, it's not going to happen. It's about a 7% chance that it's possible for you to hold up momentum for that. Because for one, we've been training, I've been helping you guys. If you follow me on other platforms, we've been talking about making these shifts since October. We talk about that in November, in the fall season. So when winter comes, we are already releasing all this. Again, free yourself. All this that we are doing from December to January to February and coming into March, where we are actually blossoming and manifesting, the things are coming into fruition. Right now, we are just releasing things. We are still freeing ourselves. But if you are calling yourself trying to start something new, you calling yourself trying to get in shape and now I'm juicing and all, we passed the holidays, so I'm ready to, like, girl, you already missed the gap. Sorry, but you missed the gap. Try again in March. Because if you didn't have the mental discipline to do it before the beginning of the year, you're not going to have the mental ability to do it at the beginning of the year, because we are still in the middle of the winter. So that is why you hear a lot of people saying, stop celebrating the new year in January, because this is not a time for you to be manifesting. This is a time for you to be setting intention, and this is a time for you to be reflecting. But most important, this is a time for you to be releasing. If you still have the same mindset that you came out of 2022 with, then you still have that same mindset right now, because we are not done purging last year. So understand that it's okay for you to not have resolutions right now, and it's okay for you to not be at the gym right now and trying to start this whole new year, new you type of bullshit. It's okay for you not to do that right now. Save it for the next couple of months. But while you are waiting, you should not be idle. You should be freeing yourself. And what this comes with is looking yourself in the mirror. When you are looking yourself in the mirror, you should be looking at everything. And I don't know if we were talking about this last night or in the Rebirth Society, but when it comes to your look at what you see, what are you really afraid of? When you see yourself in the mirror, what are you afraid of? What fears are you looking yourself in your face and saying, like, I'm really terrified of this. Like, we all have this hard shell of, nothing bothers me, or I've outgrown this, I've matured. Like, I am constantly contradicting myself, because I am constantly evaluating myself and growing. There are plenty of times where I am being convicted. There are plenty of times where I am being, and this is intentional, like, there's plenty of times where I am being, like, told about myself, even if it's not somebody else physically talking to me, telling me about myself. It's usually spirit, like, showing me, like, girl, this is you being flawed. Like, you need to work on this. Like, you saying, like, I can literally say something or type something and post it, and not even 10 minutes later, spirit is pointing it back to me as to, yeah, you said this, but you're talking about self. And this is why I always advocate to you guys to look at yourself in the mirror. Everything that you do not like about the next person is because it's something in you that mirrors that. Everything that you attract in people is something in you that mirrors that. And that is why it's so important to go inward. So when spirit is saying to free yourself, you need to free yourself of this mental shackle of you needing to be comfortable. A lot of times we go through life expecting to be comfortable, but there is comfort in being uncomfortable. What do I mean by that? There is comfort in knowing that you don't have to be in control of what's going to happen. There is something so soothing and peaceful about understanding that this is my assignment. This is what my goal is. This is what God has gave me and my purpose. So as long as I am doing what I am supposed to do, the journey journey to getting there is out of my control. And that is a level of peace that we should all be striving to have. No matter what adversity you go through, you can tell yourself, hey, I know that this is a part of the journey. I am well. How is my mental? How is my physical? How is my spiritual? If everything is in alignment, then I know that I am well, and that this is just a season and I can get myself out of it. But a lot of times we get in a chokehold when it comes to things that we are trying to control. And a lot of people are like, it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. It's hard to not think about bills. It's hard to not stress about, the car note and things like that. I was just talking to my best friend the other day, and, I haven't talked to her in a few months, but it was because we are still like really out of alignment, like where she is still in that hustle mentality. And, she like, I feel stagnant. I feel like, I'm not moving forward. It's the same thing, just another year. And I was like, one of these years you're gonna listen to me. One of these years you're gonna slow the fuck down and stop chasing money and let the money chase you. When I quit my job in 2020, when I stopped and I said, everything is going right now, and I'm literally about to shake up everything that I have. Like, I was working from home. I didn't have the to deal with, not having a job, and I was working from home. So I didn't have to worry about, getting sick, going into the office, even if my job was essential. I didn't have to worry about that. I had already went vegan in 2019, so I wasn't scavenging for meats and foods at the grocery store, because most of y'all dense asses still wasn't eating the produce, so I still had plenty of produce to eat. I lived by myself, so I didn't have a problem with, being at home and doing things like, I lived by myself, so I didn't have no roommate and worried about her going to work and coming back home. I had literally just moved into my place by myself. So everything was working out for my goodness, and I was just like, halfway through the year is June, and Spirit is like, quit your job and go back to school. And when you finish school, move to out of state, across the country, not down the street, but move across the country. And I'm just like, well, everything is literally perfect right now. Everything is literally comfortable right now. And as soon as I got comfortable, Spirit was like, nah, I need you to move away. Like, and in that house, I talk a lot about that house. I was living in High Point, if y'all in North Carolina. I was living in High Point, and I hated that house, y'all. And this was my first house that I ever rented. Like, I've always been in my own space. I had like a roommate for like a year, but I've always been like in my own apartment and lived by myself for the longest. And when I was never in a house. So I was just like, I want to be in a house. So I need to get in the habit of, what is it like living in a house and not in a complex? Y'all, when I say I got in that house, I hated that house. It was literally like nigga rigged. It was literally rigged. Like, it was beautiful on the outside. It was nice in the inside when I first went into it. But, hadn't even been there for like 2 or 3 months, and stuff literally just started decaying. Like, I literally fell through my porch that summer. Like, my foot through the whole porch fell through. Like, my front door was uneven, so I did not even have my door locked. I could, like, even if I have my door locked where you can turn it, if you knew me, like if you've been to my house, all you had to do was push the door and it would be open. Like, if you didn't know me, like if you didn't like know me personally, anybody could literally just walk in my house at any time. And it was just terrible. Like, it had like a stand-in shower. I get claustrophobic in a shower. Like, I can't be in a stand-in shower, and I didn't even know that I was claustrophobic in that space until I lived there, because I've been at, I've taken showers in like, standing showers before, but in that place, I literally started hyperventilating because I turned the shower on. It was so small. The door on the shower was always coming off the rack, and I just felt like I was going to get stuck in there when the shower was on. Like, I literally stood in there for like 30 seconds. That was the longest that I ever stood in that shower. So imagine going an entire year without having like a bath, being able to get in the bath and take a shower. Like, obviously, I went to other people's houses, like occasionally stayed at other people's houses. So I took showers there and I enjoyed it. Like I took very long showers at other people's house. Like when I went home or when I was at my dude house or whatever, like I would make sure that I was taking long exaggerated showers because I missed it. But long story short, like that year, I didn't even buy furniture in that house. Like I was, because I knew I was leaving. I knew I wasn't staying there. So I was like, there's no need for me to buy a whole living room set. Because I got rid of everything in my apartment before I moved in there. So it was no reason for me to buy all this stuff because I knew I wasn't staying there long. But Spirit made sure that I did not get comfortable in that house. Like as soon as I started to get comfortable, it was like 4 months in, and as soon as I started to get comfortable, Spirit was like, nope, this is not where you about to be at, so we not about to get comfortable. I need you to do this, I need you to do this, I need you to do this. And I was just like, are you sure? Are you sure? And in that moment, I've always been somebody who always, like, it was nothing for me to quit my job. Like the longest I've even ever been at a job is maybe like 13 months, but I've never been at a job for a very long time because I've never had an employee mindset. I've always been an entrepreneur. Like I've always had a boss mindset. So with me understanding that about myself, I've always quit my jobs with ease. Like if you piss me off, like I'm out. I don't have no children or nothing. So I've always been like, it's just me, and I'll figure it out because I always figure it out. So I'm good. I'm not about to stay at no job that I don't like. I don't know why it was so hard for me to quit my job that time though. When Spirit was telling me to quit my job in 2020, I think the scarcity or the mindset or the fear that came with that was that Spirit was telling me that you're not just quitting your job, like you're quitting employment. You are firing your boss forever. Like you're not going back to being an employee for anybody else. And I think that is what scared me the most. But I say all that to say that when it comes to you being uncomfortable, that is typically going to be when you accept and embrace you being uncomfortable and staying in a place of being uncomfortable, then you'll understand that is a part of consistent growth. And I don't mean uncomfortable as in, you in situations where you can never relax, because I don't want us to also associate that. Like a lot of times I hear people say, I don't like to get too happy because as soon as something good has happened, something bad happens behind it. And I don't want you to have that mindset either. The mindset that I need you to have is the mindset of, embracing every moment. So yes, it's 100% a fact that you have more good days than you have bad days. You have more good moments than you have bad moments. So when I say it, you need to get used to being uncomfortable does not necessarily mean that you are not well. Being uncomfortable does not necessarily equate to being stressed. So I can be uncomfortable, but was I stressed? I would not say I was stressed because everything was still flowing in divine timing. There's a certain peace when it comes to, okay, I'm being obedient, so I know that I'm doing the right thing. And that's that faith talk that a lot of people talk about, but a lot of people do not practice. When it comes to real true faith, that is you saying, I serve you. And let me take that back. When it comes to faith as well, you have to trust in a source that's higher than yourself. Don't be out here talking about you have faith, or you're following God, or you're just listening to your intuition, but you're listening to your ego, and your ego is telling you the things that you need to do based out of flesh. I still don't believe that there's any right or wrong decisions that can be made, because it is what it is. But when it comes to you making decisions that might scare you, when it comes to you making decisions that might, because if you're not dreaming big enough, if you're not scared of your goals, if you're not anxious a little bit of, the decisions that you're making, but you having the mindset of saying like, God, I trust you. Whoever you pray to, whoever your God is, whoever the divine is in your life, you're saying that I trust you as being the sovereignty over my life or whatever. I trust you that you have my best interests at heart. And if I am following you, not on my own vices, not on my own accord, but if I am following you, then I know that I'm going to be well. So even if I got to take away this marriage, even if I got to take away this job, even if I had to take away a friend, if you take away all those things from me, I still know that I'm well, because I know that I'm being obedient. When it comes to you having I wouldn't even necessarily say an epiphany, but when you are in a place where you feel like you're confused, when you feel like there's no clarity, 10 times out of 10, that is you feeling that way because you are not listening and following a higher source. You are listening and following yourself. It is not likely that you are going to understand with your own human mind, that you are going to understand the spiritual aspect of why God is telling you to do certain things. So a lot of times we get caught up in, again, wanting to control the situation, but we really like, I want to know. I want to know the answer to this. I want to know why this had to happen. I want to know. And the question is not necessarily why, but what exactly, I mean, why is the question, but it's not why is it happening, is why do I need to learn this? What did I need to learn from this? And a lot of times we're not going to understand that until after we've gotten through it. It's not up for you to understand it while you're going through it. Just understand that this is happening, and it's happening for your greatest good. And if it's happening for your greatest good, then there's no wrong that's happening right here. Does that make sense? So if we are understanding that even though it might not feel good, because there are times where, I'll have clients come and, get readings from me. And they'll be like, okay, so is this person good for me? Or, is this the right thing for me to do? And the answer in their reading would be yes. It is what you need to do. That is the next move that you need to go through. And then say was I supposed to take this job? They get the job, they take the job, and then maybe a month or two later, something happens where they have to leave the job. Or they in this relationship, you said that this relationship was good for me, and now this relationship is not good for me because the person is cheating, or I can't trust them, or whatever. Just because your reading can say that, yes, this is the best things for you to do, but that does not mean that it's going to be the best thing that you want it to be. We get confused with thinking that, this because this is the best thing for us, or spirit saying that this is the best thing for us. That does not always equate to what we think is the best thing for us. So we have to understand that we are not moving on our own vices. And when you are moving on your own vices, there's a very high chance for you to be led astray, or for you to have a lot of confusion going on. I don't really maneuver with a lot of fear, because I know that even if I lost everything today, I've lost everything twice. I've lost everything twice, and I hope that I don't have to lose it again. But even if I do have to lose it all again, I move with a certain amount of grace, and I move with a certain amount of certainty, and a certain amount of confidence as well, because I know that 100% of those times where I've lost everything, I was still well. I've never had to experience homelessness, thank God. I've never had to experience, not having anything to eat, thank God. But at the end of the day, there has always been a protection over me when I was losing it all. And at the end of the day, if I am following spirit, I can look at my track record and say, you have held me down all this time. You have held me down. You have shown me the right way all this time. So why would I not trust you now? What could I possibly be dealing with now that if it ain't taking me out? What could I possibly be going through right now that I still cannot overcome? So that's how I look at adversity. I get excited when I see adversity, because I know on the other side of whatever this challenge is, it's going to make me a better person. It's going to acquire me a different tool that I can use to either tell my stories to help somebody else, or to actually utilize it, for war in the future adversity that I had to go through. All right. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Let me pull a couple cards. What time is it? Good timing. It's only been 32 minutes. Y'all know we only got an hour. So, yes, I'm going to pull some cards to move in alignment with this, or confirmation for this message. I feel like, okay, so again, with Mercury being in retrograde, I said this a couple weeks ago, and I forgot. Well, I don't really keep up with the planetary alignments, like when stuff is coming, but I do have my own little astrologer. Anyway, I was seeing this a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure is relevant right now as well too, being that Mercury is actually retrograde. But some of you guys are going to have exes that's coming around. That is completely normal to happen. And I want you guys to understand that everybody who's resurfacing in your life, that is not a sign that you're supposed to be with them. Let's be very clear. That is not confirmation from the divine. Hey, love. that is not confirmation from the divine that you are supposed to be with that person because they are circling around the block. I always say that more often than none, he said my exes are so annoying. That's why I changed my that says something about you. That says a lot about you. If all your exes are crazy like that. But when it comes to your exes coming around, that says more about your boundaries. Like, why do they even have access to you? Especially if they are not, they weren't healthy relationships, or, they're not somebody that you're actually genuinely friends with. Because I do have exes that, I'm cool with. Like, they the homies. So even though they still surface around that block, like, although granted, I did post them, but I post some cute ass pictures today just because I beat the face to the guys. I had to pop out in my stories a little bit, and of course they come running like a thirsty ass camel to the DMs once you remind them how fine you are. But that's neither here nor there. But I do have some exes who will, even though we are friends, like it's nothing for us like to have conversation, they still will peek their head up, and they might hit my line or whatever every time around this time of the year, during these retrograde seasons, Mercury retrograde. And nothing is wrong with that if is no beef with the relationship. But if these are people that I tend to see this with people who have toxic exes, or people like, I don't know, like, why they keep hitting me up, I don't want nothing to do with them. Why do they have access to you then? Ask yourself that. Why do they have access to you? Why are they able to pick up the phone and call you? Why are they able to, see you on social media and DM you and things like that? If you truly do not, and y'all, I've actually had exes who were narcissistic, and an ex who was very much so stalkerish, where this man will email me, he will hit me up at my job, like he will do everything possible. Like he got me on at Apple, right? Like this when I was working, he got me on to working at Apple, like work from home at Apple, because he worked there. And next thing you know, like I hadn't talked to him in a couple of days because he was getting on my nerve. Why is this man in my training? He said because they keep coming out with these texting apps. But I don't answer numbers that I don't know. Why you texting somebody that number that's not saved in your phone? I don't text people that I don't know. And if it's not, somebody who already saved in your phone. Like, what are you texting me for? What are you texting me for? But either way, if you had that many, you've already changed your number. If you changed your number, beyond your number, your social media platforms, like I've had exes who done all of that, like emailing me off my business email, sending me cash apps with messages in the cash apps and shit like that. And that's the only way, like I still had to block you on cash app, I still had to block you on there as well, because it wouldn't even be, sometimes it's not even you sending me money, it's you requesting money and then got the question in the request. So even in that little bit of time where you could have probably got a little something from me, probably wouldn't have been nothing, honestly, but you wouldn't have got blocked. You requesting money, meaning that you still trying to drain energy out of me instead of giving me some life. They don't change. They don't change. So with that being said, the way that some of your exes have not changed is by the type of ex that person was. Like, if you knew y'all had a terrible relationship in the first place and they keep circling around the block, then you need to free yourself of that person. Whether that be cord cutting, whether that be setting boundaries, whether that be telling them how you truly feel, to release it into the atmosphere and actually letting them go. Because a lot of times when people still have access to you, or there's still conversation every single retrograde, it's typically because you are not over them and you have not released them. Your mind might be saying, I don't want them no more, but that does not mean that you have released them from your aura, from your spirit realm. So you need to free yourself of them as well, so that you can stop having these encounters, because our mouths say a lot of things, but our subconscious does not lie. So your subconscious still attracting that type of person, or that person specifically, is you haven't changed, you haven't grown. And that's the reason why y'all still are on the same level. All right, let's see what we got. What we got. Right. They don't change. You have to change. Right, Kia. Because once you start to level up, once you start to change things about yourself, they won't be attractive to you and you won't be attractive to them. Like they might still spin the block just to try their luck, but it's not often that they will even do that because they'll automatically look like they're out of your league, like you're out of their league. So, and they won't believe that they are out of your league until you make it like I've had a dude, we never dated. Like we probably went out maybe once or twice, but we just used to text or whatever. And he did some shady ass shit. I can't remember what it was, but I remember like when I met him, I met up with him the last time that I had met up with him, we ended up getting into it about something like when it was like something along the line of I feel like he was trying to flex on me or whatever because like we had sex, but it was trash, and I still wasn't judging him. You know what I'm saying? Like I was learning a couple things from him, so I wasn't judging you, but I felt like he was calling himself like trying to play me as if like he used me. He said, I absolutely love healing with you. Thank you, love. I appreciate that. So yeah, like I did, I hit or whatever, and it was trash, but I wasn't judging him. I wasn't judging him for lacking. So, but I feel like after like maybe like a week or so later, he started acting funny. So I ain't the type to press you. So I was just like, okay, cool. And so I was just like, all right, well, you can delete my number. We ain't gotta fuck with each other. And so he texted me randomly like 2 weeks later, was like, hey, I see you still following me on Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook, then if we're not cool, then you can unfollow me. You said that's the truth because my baby daddy looks like he's 60 years old. Honey, now he look like he's 60. Honey, that's not a good look, son. That's not a good look. You got to get him on his healing journey. You can't do him bad like that. If that's your baby daddy, then he need to be on his healing journey as well. He need to get his shit together. He ain't got to be attractive, but baby, ain't no way you 39 and you looking like you 60. Not with our genes, unless he outside of our race, it ain't no reason why you cracking that early. But yeah, with old buddy, like he started acting funny. He was just like, "Oh, you don't follow me. If we're not gonna fuck with each other or whatever, then don't follow me on Facebook." I was like, "Okay, say less." I didn't even respond back to him. I just unfollowed him. Like maybe like a year later, he sends me another friend request, or I think he followed me on a different page because I wouldn't have accepted it. But I think he followed me on a different page or something, and then I come to find out that was still him. And maybe 2 years ago, because this happened in like 2018, maybe 2019. I think it was 2018 for sure. It was 2018. So maybe like 2 years ago, this man in my DMs talking about what's up. Said, I know you fucking lying, with a whole bunch of laughing emojis. And he was like, oh, my bad. I ain't know it was a problem to speak. I don't know why you didn't think it was a problem to speak. You can't speak to me. Said that man left me with the baby and went back to his wife. Ooh. See, that ain't none of my business. But what I am gonna say is, does he even take care of the child? That ain't none of my business. But I was gonna ask, does he left you with the baby? So I guess that would answer that he don't take care of his baby. But there's always karma. So I ain't got nothing from him. I wish his old ass the best. See, I'm not about to fool with you tonight. What I will say is there is always karmic balance when it comes to people not doing right by their children. So all I'm going to say is to make sure that you maintain your good karma, to always wish people the best, always wish them healing, and because I always look at it when I don't believe in cheating. Like, I don't think there's no such thing as cheating, but that's another story for another day. But when it comes to people being liars, I do believe that there are people who are just fucking liars. And when they do that, I just look at it as they are not their authentic self. And when you are not your authentic self, you are battling something within yourself where you are trying to put on this mask to please everybody else because you don't know who you are. So them grace the best that I can in my human self. I show them grace because that's something you deal with. I try not to, well, I don't for sure. So I was sure finna ask you to elaborate on no such thing as cheating. Hey love. It's no such thing as cheating. He said karma made that man age fast. Yeah, I am done. But yeah, when I say it's no such thing as cheating, y'all, I'm gonna pull some cards too. But hey Leah. But yeah, when I say it's no such thing as cheating, I do not believe that there's no such thing as cheating, because when you look at what cheating is, when you cheat, I look at people cheating. When you cheat at something, it's to accomplish something greater, right? So when you cheat on a test, it's because you want to pass your grade. You cheat in a game because you want to win the prize at the end. When it comes to relationships, somebody cheating on you in a relationship, what are they gaining from that? If you weren't with this person enough, or this person was not good enough for you to actually leave me alone and actually go and pursue them, you just dealing with them in addition to me, that means that you're not gaining too much from them. You just getting a temporary gratification. And then also understanding that men, they think with their dicks differently than we do. He said that man doesn't know who he is. I definitely wish him better. Right. So when it comes to men and physically being attracted to other women, studies show nobody belongs to you, and studies show that men will have sex with women not only that they don't like, but that some of them will have sex with women that they're not even attracted to, just because it's just a physical act. So when you take away that from cheating is a term used by people who have conditional possessive love for other people. You don't own anybody, so how can I be cheating on you when you don't own me? You don't own me, and by cheating on you, I'm not getting anything from that. I'm just not being authentic, right? You're just not being authentic. Trust me, y'all, I'm not one of those girls who be out here telling dudes like, oh, you the only one I'm talking to. Like, if I have ever told you that that's just the case in my old heads watching. But if I have ever told you that you are the only dude I'm dealing with, not only was that true, but I actually liked you, because I will tell a nigga that I got other niggas when I don't got no other niggas, because I don't want you to ever feel like you the only one I'm fucking with. Like, that's just my mindset. And even with me telling you that, it's an ego thing for them to feel like, oh, I'm the only one, so I can get over on you. Like, I always let it be known, like, all my hoes be knowing about each other. If I got a roster of 5 dudes, all of them know about each other. That's some real player shit. Niggas be feeling like they player because they be lying to multiple bitches. Being a real player is telling all of them about each other and still keeping all of them and having your way. That's some real player shit. So when it comes to me actually dating other people, bro, if we are not exclusive in any way, or we have not made any type of commitment that we only are dealing with each other, it's free game out here. I don't play that whole girlfriend thing. I don't know what the fuck a girlfriend is. That's some new age shit to me. So if we not married, we not together. Like, I'm single. So until you have proven to me, and I don't believe in traditional marriage, so until you have proven to me, like, nigga, I'm in your will, I'm on your insurance policy, we planning, we got businesses together, we actually growing in some way, bro, I am single. And until you have proven to me that you will want to be with me long term, or that you are investing into me long term, you for the streets, because I am too. I'm definitely for the streets. I'm still on the market. I'm still very much so on the market. So there's no such thing as cheating, because nigga, if you not married, for one, you single, and that's your puppet head if you out here playing wifey to a nigga who ain't made you a wife. And that's just is what it is. You said you need a starting five to start the game. Look, honey, my little black book empty as fuck right now. But baby, when I be in the game, when I'm in the game, I'm in the game. I play to win. I play to win. Right. You say you too old to be a girlfriend. Like, honey, I don't know what a girlfriend is when even, and I don't feel like I've never been a girlfriend when I was young. Like, I've always been a wife. Like, and I just was telling a dude that because he was like, a lot of y'all women don't want to face the fact that, you know, if you want to be a wife, you got to do wife shit. And I said that's the furthest thing to from the truth. Like I've turned down 2 proposals in my life, and they were when I was very young, and I turned them down because nigga, a lot of times these men are proposing not because they actually. No man wants to be in a marriage. Let's be clear. No man wants to have, you know, somebody else thinking for them all the time and all the other stuff. A lot of men look at wifing you as status, and they look at it as in-home pussy and in-home maid and in-home chef. That's all it is, a babysitter. Right, you back outside as you should be, period. So a lot of dudes really do not care. Marriage is more so of a stability thing for women because it gives us more protection when it comes to providing and all the other stuff. But marriage is a business, y'all. And if you are looking to be married, if you are looking at it in anything other than a business, you are going into it with the wrong mindset because you're going to fail. If you are basing your why I want to marry somebody because I want to fall in love, you are already failing at your marriage because marriage is more than just love. Love should be a byproduct of you having your basic stability, your basic needs met. That's what a marriage should be. But the love will come later. If you somebody who making my life easier, you know, you handling your business, I can trust you. You're financially literate. You know, you can make decisions, and I can trust you to lead. The love is going to come anyways because you are taking a burden off of me. But if you're going into a relationship like, oh, I need to be in love with you, and because we're in love, we should be married. Like, married, you already got the wrong mindset around it. And then let's say you are in a marriage and you've made that commitment. You said, I just know my position in these men's life. I have learned my powers, and I won't allow someone to mistreat what I've grown to be. Absolutely. Learn your position. A lot of women don't like to hear that, but know your position. Like if somebody's just, if you just a good time in somebody's life, and at the end of the day, you choose what position you want to play. Like I understand if I'm just a good time in somebody's life. Being a good time in your life does not equate to you fucking me though. Like I know that I give off the vibes, like, because I like to show a little skin. I know I give off the vibes that I might be easy to fuck, but baby, I'm not. I'm not. And by the time you realize that, you're gonna be then got a little glimpse of this Yinka medicine, and you gonna be asking yourself why I can't leave her alone, and you ain't never hit. So a lot of y'all don't place your own value on yourselves. So when it comes to a guy not putting no value on you, it's like, okay, but you don't even know your worth. You don't even know that you ain't got to get a pee up for you to, you know, get treated well. Like some of y'all, it's too fucking old. You almost pushing 30 and you've never even been on a real date before. Like, but you out here got kids and you out here sucking and fucking all day. I don't understand it. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. And that goes back to you not knowing who you are and your worth. So all of that comes back to the moral of the story, which is freeing yourself of all these things that if you going back and looking at all of 2022 and the things that you're proud of, the things that you're not proud of, the things that you wish to change, that you wanted to change and you did not accomplish, it all stems down to a deeper rooted, a deeper rooted trauma or a deeper rooted experience that you dealt with. Yeah, you said it's not easy at all, right? But all of this is rooted in a deeper experience that you have been through that you have not worked through. Like, yes, you had that experience, but did you actually understand why you went through that experience? You've already gone through it, but if you have not recalled why did you have to go through this and actually understand why, then you're going to keep getting that same lesson over and over, and it's going to hit harder every single time because spirit is like, you're still not getting it. You're still not getting it. Let me let you hurt a little bit harder so you can get it this time. And 10 times out of 10, the moral of every story is always to go, you're out of alignment with what God wants for you. That's literally the moral of the story with anytime you find yourself out of alignment. He said there's power in the P and it's not giving it up. Heavy. Preach to him, Kia. Heavy on that one. You said everything leads back to something deeper. Yes, it does. Like literally every single thing leads back to something different. I mean, something deeper. That's why you have to do everything with intention. That's why you have to be cautious of everything that you do. The fact that you choosing to eat a pint of ice cream on your period versus eating some soup, that is rooted in something deeper. The fact that you are choosing to be with somebody who does not love you versus somebody, the nerd or the guy who, that is treating you well, that's rooted in something different. The fact that you're working a 9 to 5 that you hate versus working on your craft and doing something that you love in your free time is rooted in something different. I mean, something deeper. And all of that roots back to something that you have not addressed and learned why you had to deal with that. Because once we learn the lesson, we can get past it. But if we haven't learned the lesson, we still just like, oh, it's one thing after another. And I just don't understand why. Like, you're not wanting to understand why. There's no reason why you just have 5 of the same niggas and different names, different shoes, and different accents or whatever. You dealing with the same guy in different figures and different avatars. There's no reason why this is happening over and over and over again, and you're not looking at self as being the problem. That just don't make sense. You're the only common denominator. So how is that making sense that it's everybody else except for you? Every single friendship that you have, most of the friendships that you have, y'all falling out, that girl backstabbing or they hating on you, they trying to fuck your nigga. Like every girl that you attract is like that to the point that you like, well, I just don't want no friends with no females, like no new friends. I'ma just rock. That says more about you than it says about them, because why are you the one who's falling out with everybody? Why do you not? And granted, I'm not somebody who got a whole bunch of friends. My friends like 10 plus years. I have very long-term friends, but at the same time, I'm always open. And I know myself, I know people be on some weird ass energy, and I don't blame them. I just have an understanding of you are not where you want to be. So when you start to do some weird shit, it's because my big ass light, I know I take up a lot of space, and my big ass light casts shadows on people who are not also beaming their own light. If you put two light bulbs together, 2 flames together, it ain't gonna be no shadow. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of light. But when you got a empty ass space and you just got somebody bringing out one big ass light, it's gonna be a whole lot of shadows around, because that's just science. I don't know no other way to put it, but that's just science. That's just how it is. So when you are shining bright, you are healing, you are doing the work, and you are around people who are not doing the same, they gonna either tip their candle over so they can get a piece of that light, or they just gonna sit there dull and be mad because they shit this high and your flame this big. So be around people who got big ass flames, or be around people who are inspired by their little ass flame and they appreciate the journey. That, hey, I know they ain't get that big ass flame overnight, so I'm appreciating being around this person. I know the more I stay around them, the better I'm gonna be, because they're a good person and they're a good heart. But when you are attracting a lot of bum ass people around you, it's because you got a little ass flame and you intimidated by other little ass flames. That's one thing I ain't never understand about the Black community. It's like you buying clothes, you going broke for people who broke too. You out here flexing on people who hurt too, people who abuse too, people who got you out here acting like you better than the next person when you unhappy in your relationships too. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And I'm not gonna say we're the only people who do it, but we are the only people I give a fuck about. I'll say that. We're the only ones that I give a fuck about. I don't care about no other race or no other culture doing that crazy ass shit. But why are we doing that? As much as we got going on with the world hating us, why are we doing that to each other? It makes no sense to me. All right, y'all. Let me actually pay attention and center myself. We almost at an hour, and I ain't pulled no cards, but I'm gonna pull a couple cards to see what confirmation Spirit has, what last messages the Spirit has for us. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope that y'all got a divine message. And this video is timeless, obviously. So whenever you are watching, I hope that it resonates with you guys. We got the 7 of baskets. We got the 7 of baskets. And that was actually in reverse, but I turned it up. If Spirit tells me to turn it back, then I will. But the big queen. The big queen is the Empress. and the two of sticks in reverse, which is the two of wands in reverse. So we got the seven of baskets, upright, the empress, and the two of sticks in reverse. Yeah, that's pretty much everything that we were just talking about, but I want to add on to that. It's just giving like the bag lady, but you're giving off like, I'm being drawn to like this lavender. It's like somebody who's had a lot of baggage, somebody who's carried a lot for, and this is a lot to deal with, like family affairs, like family struggles, power struggles within the family specifically. Not necessarily outside relationships, but specifically family traumas and things like that. This is somebody who has carried a lot of burdens in their family dynamic. So this could be you having like parental issues, you having abuse issues with your parents, or with whatever type of guardian or whatever. This could also be somebody who has played that big sibling role, where they had to grow up earlier than they should have, or just had a lot of responsibility growing up. You could have grew up in poverty, like real poverty, like, and had to be in survival mode at a young age. But this is just giving family struggles, family issues. This could also be like a family curse, a specific curse. A lot of times we call things generational curses. They're not really curses, they're just patterns. You said that is definitely giving a powerful message. Yeah, it really is, especially with this queen energy, because this is somebody who has, again, like I said, the seven of baskets came in and reversed, but immediately after, and I don't usually flip cards when they come out reversed, and if it's supposed to be reversed, spirit will be like, flip it back. But when it came out, I flipped it, and it was literally, that was the symbolism. Like, it came out this way, but spirit was giving it back the other way. Like, okay, we've been through a place of being closed-minded and being in a place where we couldn't even dream. That's specific what spirit is saying. Like, you might have been in a place where you could not even dream. Like, you couldn't imagine yourself being free. You can't imagine yourself having a healthy relationship with somebody who actually loves you and somebody who's not taking advantage of you. You couldn't imagine, being an entrepreneur, having, your own business and things like that, because you might not have had any role models in your family. You might not have had any financial literacy. You might not have been the smartest in school, but you've never been able to dream because you've always belittled yourself, or had people who were putting you down and telling you what you could not do, deflecting their own insecurities on you. This is about to change, or this is currently changing. This is you going, and even with the two of sticks being in reverse, this is intuitively telling me, because the two of sticks upright is you going. I always say, is you going on an adventure. I always look at this as like my Moses card, especially in the Hoodoo Tarot deck. I always look at this as like Moses part in the Red Sea, and them having to go, are they Israelites or Pharaohites, whoever the fuck they were, the people that Moses were leading in the Bible. Y'all let me know who the people. I don't know, it's like, because it was Pharaoh was the king at the time, but the people that he were actually, I don't know what they were called, Israelites or Pharisees, whoever they were. They went on this journey for 40 days, on a journey that was supposed to take them like a couple days to get to. And the reason why they had to take so long, it was because they complained the entire way. They kept saying, oh, well, if we was going to come out here, we were supposed to be out here starving. If it won't no food out here, we could have stayed where we were at, in captivity, in being a slave, being where you were comfortable, being in a place where, I was a slave, but at least I got, to eat every day. At least I got, a place over my head. But now we out here in the wilderness, God then dropped some fowl out of the sky. You got fresh ass birds straight out the sky, and you looking at it as a plague. Like, where are these birds coming from? The birds just falling out the sky. You asking for food, and fowl is literally falling out of the sky, but you're still complaining. you asking for water, Moses hit the rock and, it turned it into wine, or no, it turned made water come out of it, and you're still complaining. But it's just always complaint after complaint, and you're not ever looking at the fact that I could have really been further than what I am right now had I just been obedient, had I just stopped complaining about things and ask myself, why am I going through this? Why am I experiencing this? And not only why am I experiencing this, but how can I use this tool of getting through this? How can I learn the lesson in this so I can use the tool to get through this if it was to ever surface again? Like I said, I've lost everything twice in my lifetime, and I'm still fucking young. So if I've lost everything twice, how can I have a fear as an entrepreneur of losing it all? I can make big ass investments, and I won't be afraid that if I lost it all, if the investment went wrong, this is my last 10 G's and I done spent it on this, and I didn't lost it all, and it didn't work. I'm not going to have a fear of making that type of investment, because even if I lose it all, I've been there before and I've gotten it all back. So I don't have that fear anymore. If that was the lesson that I needed to learn with losing it once or twice, then hey, I've learned that lesson, so I shouldn't have to experience it again. But if that fear was to resurface and I happen to lose it all again, my mindset I won't be there long. I'll get it back quicker, and I'll have to look at it in the sense of, hey, whatever I was supposed to learn in this, I'm good. Like let's go through it. Let's experience whatever it is God wants me to experience right now. And a lot of people don't have that idea of being free to the point where they can just flow. And a lot of times, like I said before, it is because we are rooted in fear instead of rooting what are we doing in love and following what God has for us. If you are moving on your own vices, I'm not saying that Ashay, you say, girl, you giving a message. But if you are moving out of fear and you are not moving in alignment with God, it's very much so likely that your life is going to be very complacent. It's going to be very confusing, and you're going to have some highs and you're going to have some lows, but them lows going to really be, it's going to really kick your ass. And that's not what the goal is. The goal is to have those ups and downs, but to always be in a constant state of flowing. Whether you really high or whether you low, that you're never at a place where you're too low or you're too high, where, you forgetting, your morals and your values and your integrity. And you don't want to be so low that now you're in a scarcity place where you're doing things again that's out of integrity because you're in survival mode. With this queen energy here, though, this is giving me it's like big mama vibes, like somebody who is, this could be an actual mother figure, elder in the family, or somebody that you look up to, but it's giving some type of elder. Somebody might need to go and talk to their elder about something like family history, but it's something about a man, and this is very fucking specific. So this is something about a man, like I don't know if it's like asking about a father or asking about, I don't know. I want to know though. Spirit, could you elaborate? Yep. Soon as I said that, Pa. This is the moon card, but it's ironic that it's called Pa. And shout out to my uncle. My uncle Pa just died today. And that's my sister's, that's my grandma's brother. So this might be, even reverencing him as far as it, resonating with me. But I also feel like this is somebody, it's like somebody who grew up without somebody who grew up without their father, like asking your mom about your father, or asking an elder or whatever about your father. If you know who he is, it might be, I don't know, but it's definitely something about like a male figure in the family, and you asking or having a conversation with one of the women elders. And it also could be somebody who's like your grandparent or whoever, like asking them about their marriage and how they sustained that long, if they did. Let me tell me some pulls some more. Look, we already over our hour. We are at 68 minutes. I'm not fooling with y'all tonight, but I'm curious, so I'm about to. Thank you, love. It's definitely like I said. Oh yeah, was about to say about you asking, like, your grandparents about their relationship, like how did it last so long, and actually having a real conversation, like a real, like genuine conversation with her telling you like the truth of the ups and downs, or how they were married for 60 years, or what were the good things, what were some of the rough things in their life. I feel like that resonates with more people right now that I'm talking to, and that's just because we are going into a season of relationships. Like, this year is going to be a year that is impacted. And I said this last year, and it was very much so true. Like, a lot of my clients were meeting their soulmates. A lot of my clients were engaged this year, were engaged last year. Towards the end of the year, it was like if you missed it the first 6 months, the last 6 months, it meant that you are still in a healing process. So you might have dated somebody in the first 6 months to learn some different things about yourself and how you deal with relationships. But at the end of the year, it was more so like, you might want to retreat, because this is the pretty much the people who didn't get picked, like they're all still working on each other. At the beginning of this year, like the first 6 months of the year, this is a very important time for you to be looking at your relationships, not just romantic, but platonic as well. But specifically for romantic, you want to be looking at the people that you are even interested in, and actually asking yourself, why do I attract these type of people? What is it about? I just, for using myself, like, I like me a man who a little rough around the edges, okay? Like, I don't like me no little Poindexter. I don't like me no man who ain't never been through nothing. Like, I like felons and shit, okay? Like, I do. Like, that, don't judge me, but I do. And the reason why I love that type of man is because a lot of times, I mean, I date old heads too. Like, I don't date guys under 40. So when it comes to the guys that I'm dating, typically they've had a very rough upbringing. They've had, like, they had some prison time, or they used to sell drugs, or they was in the streets real bad, and then they came and they had their epiphany. They went through getting out and finally learning their lesson and getting their lives together, and they still have that mentality, but they are also like better men. Like, they're more productive. They figured it out. They're still hustlers. Ashe, I'm glad you receive it, love. I feel that that's what myself. I feel that that the reason why I aspire those type of men is because it's a mindset shift that they had, and it's something that most men don't figure out until they're in their 40s. So, and then I there's a certain sense of security when I'm with somebody I know, with the shits. I got a smart ass mouth, so I need you to be, ready to go at any moment. When I get a little spicy with somebody, I need you to be, ready for whatever. So I that's what I like about, the type of guys that I like. With me evaluating myself though, and looking at that, like, I also know a lot of guys who are very much so successful, like legally successful, because they have actually learned their lessons. Like, I don't judge people off of their past. It's the fact of whether you learn from your past, or whether you are still currently in that mindset where you still are not being disciplined, where you are still very reckless in your decisions. Those are the things that I'm looking at as a red flag, or I'm looking at as growth. Whatever you like, what is the logic behind the reason why you like the type of person that you like? I'm also somebody who grew up as a PK, so I never really fuck with, like, the church boys and stuff like that, because it just all look, I judge me if y'all want to, but nothing is more annoying than, I mean, we can, ain't nothing wrong with praying about a situation, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with praying about it. But let's turn up a little bit and then pray about it afterwards. How about that? Can we compromise on that? Like, I don't need you. I don't need you telling me, God got it. Like, baby, I know God got it. But if I want to get it first, I need you to be down too. If I want to get it first, I need you to be down for whatever I'm on. So I've never liked the church guy. I've never liked, guys who ain't got a little rough around the edges. Like, I've never been interested in that. So that might be a trauma response as to why I like the complete opposite, because I grew up around that. But whatever the case is, whatever you are attracted to, make sure that you are mindful as to why you are even attracted to this thing or this person, like this characteristic, this occupation. Why are you attracted to these things? Because again, it is always rooted in something deeper than our conscious mind can explain in that moment. But when we actually do the work to actually see, why is it that I like this? Why is it that I'm attracting this? Especially if you are attracting these things and they are not producing good results. I attract reformed hood niggas, and they actually do me well. They're not as only men I know who toxic are Christian men. You said no judgment. I like me a little roughneck. Okay. And one thing about it, you being a roughneck, you ain't rough with me. You gentle around me. You just rough to the outside world. I don't want nobody who's toxic in their masculinity, where you feel like you gotta be, choking me out and all this other stuff. Mind you, I don't mind a little chokey choke every now and then, but it's just a sense of protection, that I feel safe when I'm with certain guys. And it's not just the physical, it's also the mental. Do I mentally feel safe around you? I need to be spiritually safe around you. Most of the guys that I deal with who are, reform hood niggas, they're not telling me like, oh, you need to stop with all this witchcraft. You need to stop doing all this. They be listening. They really be like trying to figure out what it is that I'm doing. Like they don't mind. Like I be like, here you go, babe. And I'm spraying them down with some Florida water. I'm giving them a little oil. They don't even ask me what I'm giving it to them for. They just trust me. Like, yeah, she doing something right. She out here living rent free. Like she doing something right. But they be listening. Right. Heavy on the shout out to all my reform hood niggas out here. You get it. You get it. You get it. And it's much love to you. If any of y'all out there who are, reformed, and you about your business, and you ready to protect the goddess within, like, hit me up. Hit me up. Because we outside. We outside. Okay. But yes, y'all. Some of y'all need to talk to, if you are in a season of wanting to settle down and wanting to have better relationships. I want you guys to challenge yourself too. And I really got to go, y'all, because it's going to take forever for my videos to upload if it's way over an hour. But I want you to get to a point where you are not aspiring a relationship specifically, like you are trying to call in a relationship because you want to be in a relationship, and you are actually asking for better relationships in general. Right, they do. They get it. They get it. And that's why we go together real bad. Like, I just feel like hood niggas and spiritual women just go together real bad, because we're supposed to be protected. Like, I cannot have all this energy around somebody who does not know how to protect it, because that's literally my job, is to be magnetic, and it's your job to protect the energy that I'm possessing in this space. So they just get it. And we locked in. But yeah, y'all, I want y'all to challenge yourselves to not necessarily want to be in a relationship, but want to have better relationships, if that makes sense. Like, if you he said that's facts. Girl, I'm wishing reformed hood niggas on everybody. Like, you get a reform, especially if you are in your goddess energy, okay? Heavy on out of town. I only date long distance, y'all. If you can get in your car and hop to me in less than 2 hours, you too close. Like, so I don't mind flying me out. I don't mind, you being a few hours out of the way, but I don't like nobody who live within an hour or two around me. It's just too close to comfort. I get back. You don't know me like that. But yes, y'all, get in the habit of wanting to have better relationships generally, not just romantic relationships. Make sure that you are nurturing the platonic relationships, your homegirls. How are you? Look, preferably dark skin with locks. Y'all, don't get me started. We are not, cause all you gotta do is throw in a little beard with that. throwing a little beard, dark skin, 6 foot. Got locks is an option. I would prefer them locked, but it's an option. You said that's what equally really means. It really does. It really does. Like, you're not necessarily trying to find somebody who completes you, but you are completing yourself. You are finding aspects of yourself to complete yourself and make yourself whole and nurture the relationships that you currently have. It is not hard to manifest a romantic relationship when you already romanticize your life. If I always refer back to B Simone and Megan Ashley, like their friendship. If y'all don't watch the Know For Sure podcast, please go watch that. I love that podcast because I love B Simone anyways. But on that podcast, like, they are friends for 20 plus years. And they always, like, people, like, I feel like, is your best friend really your best friend if people don't think y'all go together? Like, if people don't think y'all gay, like, if is it really your best friend? Because there's no difference other than the physical act of having sex. There should be no difference between your romantic relationships and your platonic relationships. The way you would go to bat for your partner, you should go to bat for your friends. The way that you ask your partner, like, you make sure your partner are nurtured. You make sure, they ate. You make sure, they feeling okay. You checking in on them. You should do the exact same thing with your platonic friendships. So make sure that y'all are nurturing the friendships that you currently have, and that you are being a good friend yourself. Because if you are not a good friend, you're not a good partner. That's not even questionable. You're not a good partner if you're not a good friend to the people who you already love and the people who are already around you. I cannot stand somebody who gets in a relationship and just completely neglects their homegirls and then pop back outside when y'all broke up. Like, nah, bitch, go find you another dick to sit on. Because I just feel like that's rude, and it's a whole genre of girls who okay with that. Like, oh, I understand you in a relationship, but I feel like that's bullshit. Because somebody who does not prioritize platonic relationships, they typically don't have good romantic relationships, or they don't have lasting relationships, because you cut off everybody that you actually fuck with to be with somebody who's temporary that you met just a month ago. So that's not healthy in itself. That's already not healthy. So nah, stay the fuck away from me. I got friends who are 10 plus years long, married, and they still, everywhere we go, they man ain't got to be to their hip. We can have conversations outside of them. Me and her husband, like, that's the bro. Like, we got good relationships, and it does not take away the relationship of our friendship. And they've been married for at least 10 years. So I say that to say, you guys, free yourself, bring it back to the overall message, and that's free yourself of your mental mindset that you have right now, the mental strains that you are putting on yourself right now, from the thought processes and the environmental conditioning that we have all been a product of. Make sure that you are checking in with yourself and asking yourself, why do I behave this way? Why did I make that decision? Why am I attracting certain things? Why am I not where I want to be? And actually having these real authentic conversations with yourself so that you can produce better in 2023. All right, y'all. That's all I got. I'm actually going to get out of here for real this time. Make sure that y'all share this video. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we go live every single night, Monday through Friday, talking about these important conversations that ain't nobody else having, okay? So I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all be blessed and have a very good day tomorrow.